Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're not just crunching numbers or looking at modern case studies. Actually, scratch that. We're doing something way more fun. We are stepping back in time for an immersive story analysis. We're going to unpack this absolutely classic tale that masterfully explores the intersection of intellect, greed, and fairness. It's a story that started out as folklore, but man, it holds a seriously powerful mirror up to human nature, even today. So get ready, because we're exploring the legendary world of Tenali Rama and a very, very peculiar dispute over the price of a smell.
Okay, I want you to really think about this bizarre question for a second. Can a price actually be paid for a smell? Imagine you're just walking down the street, you pass a bakery, and you take this massive, deep breath of that incredible, fresh-baked bread aroma. Heaven, right? Now, imagine the baker sprinting out the door and literally handing you a bill for inhaling that scent. I mean, it sounds completely absurd. It sounds like a joke. But this exact ridiculous dilemma forms the core conflict of the story we're analyzing today. It really forces us to ask, where do we actually draw the line between our own property and the natural world around us?
Section 1. A strange demand. The conflict begins.
Okay, let's dive into this by setting the stage. We're in the glorious, ancient kingdom of King Krishna Deva Raya. It's this place totally renowned for its wealth, its vibrant culture, and its pursuit of justice. And right in the middle of it, we have our conflict. On one side, we have this miserly hotel owner. This is a guy who has a booming business, plenty of food, but he's just driven entirely by greed. He's super calculating, constantly looking for ways to extract value from literally everyone around him. And on the flip side, we have a poor laborer. He is entirely innocent, destitute, and honestly just trying to survive another brutal day of hard physical work. The power dynamic here is so completely unequal. You've got a wealthy man with all the resources versus a guy who has practically nothing.
The daily routine of this poor laborer really paints a poignant picture. Every single day, he sits near the hotel. His own meal? Well, it's just dry bread and onions, literally the absolute bare minimum to keep him going. But he finds this tiny, fleeting bit of comfort in his harsh life just by sitting near the hotel's kitchen. As he's eating his dry bread, he's breathing in this delicious, rich aroma of the freshly cooked vegetables wafting out from the hotel. He's obviously not stealing food, right? He's just letting the scent make his meager meal feel, a little bit better.
But then, boom, the conflict erupts. One day, the greedy hotel owner steps out, stops the laborer dead in his tracks, and makes a demand that just completely defies logic. He says, "You have enjoyed the smell of my vegetables. Now, pay the price for it." It's just this stunning moment of extortion. I mean, the hotel owner actually believes that because the scent came from his property, he somehow has the right to monetize the air this poor man is breathing. He's literally attempting to tax a man's invisible momentary joy. No way, right?
The laborer's reaction is exactly what yours or mine would be in that situation, just utter, complete shock. His defense is simple, it's factual, and it's deeply innocent. He just says, "I have only eaten my own bread. I haven't taken anything of yours." And he's right. He hasn't touched a single vegetable. He hasn't taken up a table in the hotel. He has taken absolutely nothing physical. The laborer is just left completely defenseless against the sheer audacity of this wealthy guy's claim. Section 2. The King's Court, seeking higher justice. So, when a street squabble reaches a complete deadlock like this, and you have the wealthy trying to just overpower the poor with these absurd demands, you need a higher authority to step in. This dispute is definitely not getting settled on the street, so it escalates all the way to the top, straight to the Grand Royal Court of King Krishna Deva Raya himself. The king listens to the hotel owner's ridiculous claim and the laborer's desperate defense. And here's the smart part. Recognizing that this isn't just about reading the law, but really about exposing this absurd greed, the king doesn't even rule on it himself. Instead, he hands this super peculiar case over to none other than his most brilliant and wisest minister, Tenali Rama. Section 3. Tenali Rama's Justice, a clever solution. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the unorthodox way he approaches this whole mess. Enter Tenali Rama. This is a guy who is totally legendary for his sharp wit and out-of-the-box thinking. He isn't going to just pull out some dusty law book to solve this. He's going to put on a show. So, let's break down exactly what Tenali Rama does, step by step. He steps up in front of the entire royal court, and instead of giving some long, boring speech, he sets a brilliant trap. Step 1. He turns to the poor laborer and asks to borrow a few silver coins. Step 2. He takes those coins right in his palm, steps right up to the greedy hotel owner, and just jingles them together super loudly right next to the guy's ear. And then, step 3, without handing over a single piece of silver, Tenali Rama simply turns back to the poor laborer and safely hands all the coins right back to him, saying, "Here, keep your coins."
You could probably hear a pin drop in that court. The tension is palpable. The greedy hotel owner, whose eyes had probably lit up the second he saw that silver, is now just utterly baffled. He watches the money go right back into the laborer's pocket. He looks at Tenali Rama, completely confused, and blurts out, "Where did I get the money?" He is so incredibly blinded by his own greed that he totally misses the brilliant trap that has just been sprung on him. He's still standing there expecting a physical payment for a non-physical good. And boom, here is the masterful comedic payoff. Tenali Rama just smiles and delivers this legendary verdict. He says, "Just as this poor man enjoyed only the smell of your food, you have enjoyed only the sound of the coins. The price of the smell has been paid by the sound. Now the account is settled." I mean, it is absolute perfection. Tenali Rama takes the exact flawed logic of the greedy hotel owner and just weaponizes it right back against him. You want to charge for an intangible scent? Fine. Then you are going to be paid in an intangible sound. The punishment just flawlessly fits the absurd crime. The reaction is just immediate. The entire royal court erupts into roaring laughter, and it completely shatters the hotel owner's arrogant facade. King Krishnadevaraya steps in, fiercely scolding the hotel owner for his ridiculous and honestly cruel greed. Meanwhile, the poor laborer is treated with the respect he actually deserves and is allowed to leave in peace. And this brilliantly illustrates that true justice is about way more than just blindly applying rules. It restores balance, it protects the vulnerable, and it publicly exposes the foolishness of greed.
Section 4. The moral of the story. Lessons in fairness.
So the crucial point is how this all applies beyond just being a fun piece of folklore. First off, greed makes a person's thinking narrow and small. The hotel owner was so obsessed with extracting every last penny that he completely lost his common sense, right? He made a total fool of himself in front of the king because he couldn't see the big picture. And secondly, true justice is delivered through intellect, wit, and fairness. Tenali Rama didn't just punish the guy, he educated him. He used his intellect to unravel this incredibly complex, illogical demand, proving for sure that a sharp mind is absolutely the greatest tool for fairness. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, and to a final thought I really want to leave you with. When you encounter disputes in your own life, when you're asked to mediate or make a judgment call, ask yourself, is your justice also fair? Are you looking strictly at the rigid rules, or are you using your intellect to find the true balance of the situation? Are you recognizing when someone's perspective is getting totally clouded by their own narrow greed? It's definitely a question worth asking the next time you find yourself weighing the price of something in your own world. Thanks so much for joining me, and as always, keep questioning everything.